Their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Quarterback Tom Brady ready to lead the offense here, and he is a guy who had social media buzzing in the days leading up to the Super Bowl. Sort of a cryptic post, him either walking through a dark tunnel, walking out of a dark tunnel, and then that commercial that aired in the first quarter, it kind of makes it seem like he's going to come back. Who knows? What do you think, CD?
Well, I think he's coming back for his 21st season. I think Tom Brady's having fun with this whole thing because he's never been a free agent before. He's got choices. He's got options. And he has people courting it. And knowing as human beings we all love to have people come after us and want us, well, Tom Brady's in that position in the NFL. He's going to come back. I still say he ends up back in New England, and they supplement the offense for him. But there will be people jumping into these sweepstakes. Could it be Las Vegas? Could it be Tennessee? Could it be the Los Angeles Chargers? Or a wild card that we're not even talking about right now? To me, that's Tampa Bay and Bruce Arians.
Ooh, okay. I'm just trying to picture him silver and black running out in Vegas. How strange would that be? The reception good for 7. It's third down. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Brady. And able to find Dorsett. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Alert!
Sony Michel, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw with Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
It's hard to believe that a guy can get double-digit sacks in the NFL, and we can still describe him as raw, but that's the case for Ziggy Ansah. He went to BYU, mainly as a track and field guy, gravitated towards football, became a starter for 1 season, and then moved into the NFL. A lot of potential left to scratch for him, a lot more pass rush moves left to be added, but he is a scary, scary prospect. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, coming out here. And while the MVP award looks like it will be Lamar Jackson's, not Russell Wilson's, he had a heck of a season. Over 4,000 yards for the third time, 31 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. And CD, while we saw the emergence of DK Metcalf late in the year, does Russell Wilson need more surrounding him firepower-wise offensively?
They certainly do, and I think the Seattle will work to get that. And if they're looking at the receiver position and you're looking at the draft, it's a really deep wide receiver class for 2020. So they'll have opportunities there. I think they'll just continue to fortify. They're going to want to get their running backs back. They had a couple that got dinged at the end of the year, and Chris Carson and Rashad Penny. But they get back to being Seattle that way, running the heck out of it and throwing to those big wide receivers. They feel pretty good about what Danger Russ can give them at the quarterback position. And how about what he did at the Pro Bowl?
Oh, that was neat.
That, right? Yeah. He was voted the starter, looked at Drew Brees and said, hey, you're Drew Brees. You should start ahead of me, and gave up his position. Very cool.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A run there on first down, and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. There with a tackle, Dietrich Wise Jr. From the 41, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson flushed out right. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And Dixon has it. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kyle Van Noy came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensive. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Patriot offense returning to the field. And look at this season, 12-4, but they had the 8-0 start. And you think about it in that lens, down the stretch 4-5, including the playoff loss. A first-place finish for the 16th time, though, in 17 years. But now the question circle. We've mentioned Tom Brady. A lot of discussion there. But there's a lot of other questions to answer, correct?
This is one of the oldest rosters in the NFL. So there has to be some type of a rebuild, reboot along the way. Although if you're a New England Patriot, you don't do it with the idea that you're not still contending to win the AFC East and go to the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how they decide to do that. from the front office, which there is some uncertainty there, whether there'll be some change in those positions. Head coach, as long as he's there, I think things are in great hands. But we may see a drastically different Patriot team moving forward, especially if number 12 decides to take his talents elsewhere.
Well, if Brady is there next year, they got to get him some guys he can throw the football to.
Guys that he'll absolutely trust, and that means finding veteran wide receivers who can come in and adapt to their system and play. They tried that this year. Antonio Brown, Mohamed Sanu.
N'Keal Harry.
Well, N'Keal Harry was the rookie, and he didn't adapt very well, but Josh Gordon.
Yep.
Didn't find a replacement for Gronk at tight end, although you're not going to replace Gronk, but you have to find people who are serviceable. So it became throw it to Julian Edelman and hope. And that's a problem for that team. So, yes, you're exactly right. They've got to get some help for Tom Brady if he comes back. And they've got to get some guys probably through the draft, because I don't see a bunch of veteran free agent receivers out there who will go to New England and make that big of a difference. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues. To have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert him to being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
On play action, it's Brady. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First down, here's White. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Brady now to throw. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
As Seattle jogs back on the field here, you can't help but think with their season that the old cliche, the game of inches, comes into play for the 2019 Seahawks because Week 17, that game against the 49ers, Jacob Hollister tackled inches from the goal line, maybe a half a yard. That really changed everything, didn't it?
It certainly did, because if Hollister scores and Seattle wins, they end up getting the open week and getting that little extra rest in the playoffs, and San Francisco goes to Philadelphia to play. And in my mind, San Francisco beats Philadelphia, but doesn't advance to the Super Bowl. They needed the break as well as Seattle. Seattle went to Philadelphia, had a tough one there, and then got beat at Green Bay in the very next round. So you're exactly right. To me, in my mind, that little bit of space changed everything for them. And by the way, Jacob Hollister did everything correct on that play. The ball was in the correct arm. Because everybody said, well, if he had the other arm, he would have scored. But that's not how you hold it in that situation. It was just a terrific tackle by Dre Greenlaw that changed the fortunes for both of those teams.
They'll indeed go for him with Wilson. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Not sure I agreed with the decision to go for it, but I definitely agreed with his decision to run it. He picked up that big first down. I think he let his head coach off the hook.
That's what I was just going to say. If there's anybody more happy than the quarterback picking it up, it's the coach that saw him pick it up. Now Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 39.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is get. Passes, so when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Carson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 45-yard line. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. This is Carson. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now it's Carson. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
My 52, my 52. I got it.
Second and 2 at the 20.
On 2nd and 2, Wilson, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson escaping the pressure right. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 17-yard line.
52, watch 52. 52 the line. Rip right.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Good job.
From 17 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Myers for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Brady now going to leave it with Michel on the draw. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And it's Michel once again. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw is Brady. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Brady. There's a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman there to make the grab. As Sid just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. So now a big spot for the Pats as they'll go for 2.
Here we go, dude. Here I come.
Brady to throw again. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Wilson's pass complete to Van Ness. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Wilson forced out to his left. He's got this one complete to John Ursua. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 24-yard line. Wilson, they set up the screen to Penny. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on second down. Wilson, that's caught by Penny. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Flushed out right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Throwing is Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. So they pass on the chance to kick the go-ahead field goal, and that may be one they're going to regret big time.
And I think the head coach is going to have some explaining to do, right? Because if this...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Here's Wilson.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage, taking off and throw it over your head.
And this Patriot defense up to the challenge once more as they again stop him behind the line.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Wilson to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Big kick right there to give him the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive. Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right. Brady and the Patriots now down 17-14, a minute 12 to go. And they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Now a pass here caught by Edelman. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. He's back to throw.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
He'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Brady gives to Michel. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. And the 13-year man puts it through, and now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. Now Brady, caught by the tight end Watson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Off the draw, here's Michel. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Wait, that. 54, right there, 54, Mike.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. On second down, they'll run with White. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. Third and goal. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. Now Wilson back into his end zone. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Now it's Wilson.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again here, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. The last drive, remember, a similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground, as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Now on 2nd and 13, Wilson.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use his legs.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. This to win it in overtime. And that is no good. And we will play on here in overtime. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem himself. But the question now is, will that chance ever come?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All day, dog.
Now Brady. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And the timeout coming in here with just 7 seconds remaining in the extra session. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Just like that.
To throw is Brady. And that's complete. It's Watson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. One overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment.
Wait, 54 miles. I got one.
On first down, Brady. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves